is down. When you run it, so you take away the post, I'll take away the corner route. See, you see two guys on the short route. That means that he was expecting help, and he was getting ready to slice outside so he can take the corner route away, and the safety's supposed to be over the top. That's what that means. That's sky. Because I played in a 3-4, so I understand the concepts and Wade Phillips and what he tries to do. But Peters is like one of these gamblers, and he's been that his entire career. First of all, he did a bad job because you got to press the point, especially against a big guy, Michael Thomas, because you want guys on different levels. You can't get guys, up on the safety because they would have sent too vertical. Then they would have had too many people up on the safety. But, the same thing make you laugh, make you cry. And I am a believer that they needed to lose a game, but not this game, because this was a game opportunity to send a message to show that they can come, and for their psyche, too, that they can come from the West Coast and come from the West Coast, which they may have to do in the playoffs, and have confidence that they can go into a hostile environment. But what happened is, you think about what happened just a week before with Green Bay. If Ty Montgomery don't go outlaw, then probably Aaron Rodgers is going to come out and score and win that football game. And what happens is when you are winning, the things that can make you lose, you sweep under the rug. When you lose, then everything that can make you when you lose in everything that you do, you have to analyze and assess.
I think NFL players, and Bart's right about that, when you lose, they're far more critical of every little mistake that you make. When you're winning, because the end result is what we're going to work hard as we can to try to win this game. So you don't coach yourself. You're not as critical. Now, only the great players are able to create that in their mind, that all the mistakes are big mistakes. And that's how you're able to keep a level playing every week, that you're critical of yourself. I had a pact with my wide receiver coach that he knew that he could, if the ball touched one of my hands, he knew he could mark me negative.
As a drop.
Now, I might say something in the meeting, but he knew that the standard that him and I were going to talk about and how he was going to coach me was going to be different. I believe the Rams can learn from this because they realize our run defense is still not shored up. Now, this is the first time Ndamukong Suh has been able to play inside with Aaron Donald, because they have now someone on the outside. So now they have 8 games to build to continue to work on that. And their nickel defense, their linebackers and their safeties in coverage, they are not good. So I just believe that Wade Phillips will look at situations of how can I shore up my third down. They'll use these last 8 games in case they get into this matchup, because I believe it's just as critical to know what your weaknesses are. And the Saints exploited the weaknesses of the Rams defense.
And right now, as good as the Rams are, their defensive numbers are misleading, because they have played 4 games against barely NFL-level quarterbacks. In C.J. Beathard, Case Keenum, Sam Bradford, and the first game of the year, Derek Carr, where he was just awful. Then they played 5 games against legit, and the type of quarterbacks you're going to have to play in the postseason. Phillip Rivers, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees. Those are all star quarterbacks, the guys you'll have to play in the postseason. In those 5 games, they're giving up a 120 passer rating. They've forced 1 turnover. They're giving up 50% of third down. So the numbers are inflated because they have dominated the bad quarterbacks. There aren't going to be any bad quarterbacks.
They're flawed defense, too, because when you talk about they can't stop the run. You look at Mark Barron, he's a converted safety because he couldn't play at a high level there. So now you look at what the Saints did. We're going to run the ball in between the tackles because we know he can't anchor, and they try to cover him up with the inside tackles, but you can't, because there's always an opportunity to get somebody up to the second level. And once you do that, and once you win on first down, it's hard to recover.
Why they move Mark Barron, Bart, from safety to linebacker?
Because he couldn't play dead in the country western.
Couldn't cover anybody.
Couldn't cover nobody. Couldn't get off the hashes.
Yes. That's such a good line. I have to.
I got a lot of them. Just keep inviting me back.
Wow, that was good. So listen, what's the one thing we said might hold the Saints back? Maybe their defense, if we were going to. And so now we said, what's the one thing that could possibly hold the Rams back? Maybe their defense. Is there no longer a complete team in this league that you could look at and say offense, defense, special teams? Because it was the Rams for a while. That's the most complete team in the NFL.
I think it is the Saints, because you have to ask yourself, if you're going to be a defense, you got to do something good. And what they do good is stop the run. You look at Ty Gurley. He wasn't able to really, get some of those, big plays, and they were able to keep him under control. That's an explosive offense. They're not good as far as being on the outside.
You're not worried about pass coverage against some of these good quarterbacks?
Well, I do, but they have the ability on the other side to generate points. When you can generate points, your offense offense
Sure.
as your defense. But at least they can stop the run and try and make a team
Yes.
one-dimensional and stop the team in a light box.
This is why, and it's a team we haven't talked about much the last month. This is why the Minnesota Vikings should be very optimistic about what they can do the second half of the year. They're the only team, to me, when I talk about the best teams in football in the NFC, that has a chance to be very good on offense and elite on defense. I think the Rams can be good on defense and awesome on offense. I know the Saints can be amazing on offense and good on defense. The Vikings are the only team with the personnel to be what you're talking about, the well-rounded team. We know over in the AFC, Kansas City is going to be all offense, just offense, try to force a turnover and get a stop or two.
They can be a little different. You've never been to the playoffs, but CC has before. You have to understand that what you have to pack in the playoffs is your defense and your running game, because you're going to be dealing with different elements.
You
got to be able to salt the game away, because every game usually comes down to one possession, and it's can you convert 4th and 1, or can you pick up 4th and 1? I think I said the same thing. Can you stop 4th and 1, or can you convert 4th and 1? And that's really what it comes down to. That's why all the teams I was a part of, no matter how great the other offenses were, great defense can stifle great offense with a turnover and being able to get a 2-point lead, understanding that you can't get explosive plays. But where the Rams going to have problems is when I look at Marcus Peters, I see Delta O'Neal. I see a guy that's always going to stack up the stat sheets, going to have a lot of interceptions, but I see a gambler. I see a guy that's not fundamentally sound, a guy that takes too many risks, especially in a defense that's going to put those cornerbacks on an island.
I believe he gets a lot better with Talib back. From hearing from people that talk to them, their overall relationship, I get Talib back. I want to watch to see how healthy Talib is in December. Because if he is healthy, then Marcus Peters, I don't need him to be elite. I don't need him to be talking to. I don't need him all the time to be that. So their third down defense, does that get better? How do they hide Mark Barron as far as a linebacker sub utility?
You gotta be bad. If you're a linebacker that plays safety, you still can't cover nobody?
No.
You're stealing.
No. He's been doing it for a long time. First-round draft pick from Alabama.
What's the line, Bart? He couldn't play dead in a country western?
Absolutely.
That is fantastic. Stick around. Coming up, El Bell might be coming back.